Chestermere-Rocky View, followed by Calgary East.
Mr. Speaker, my questions are for the Education Minister. Might I start by congratulating the Minister on his election victory and welcoming him to the chamber. Since the last election, Mr. Speaker, this government has promised to build 105 new schools in the province, 50 from the former Premier, 55 from the current Premier. I'd like to ask the Education Minister, of those specific 105 schools announced since 2012, how many of them are under construction? Not in the planning stage, but under construction. And is that cause for concern?
Honourable Minister of Education.
Question. It's a number.
Well, I thank the member opposite for his important question. One of the things that this government has said is a top priority is to ensure that we are responding to the growing enrollment pressures that Alberta is facing, as we have 40,000 new people moving to our province every year, and that equates to 18,000 children and 25 new schools that we need every year going forward. So we have made a commitment, Mr. Speaker, to respond to the pressures that are before us, and we will continue to do that in the years ahead.
First supplemental.
The number is somewhere around zero, Mr. Speaker.
There you go.
Given that the price of a barrel of oil is now south of $75 a barrel, a lot of people are skeptical of these government's promises. In fact, their own members are skeptical, given that when the Premier made the school announcements, the now Jobs Minister said, and I quote, "He's acting like a candy man handing out so many promises."
Oh.
Will the Minister go on record today, then, and guarantee Albertans that these 105 schools will be built and open for our kids in September of 2016, as they promised?
Mr. Speaker, I can tell you that the parents and residents in Cochrane and in Airdrie, where we just turned sod on 3 new schools, they believe that we are moving in the right direction, and so are the parents and the teachers and the students in the many other communities across our province that are going to be receiving new schools in the next few years. That is our commitment. We'll continue to build. We'll continue to ensure that every community that needs a school is going to get a school. That's our priority.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister's doing a lot of shoveling, but I don't think it's sod that he's turning. During the by-election campaign, he approved modulars for a school in his riding, even though that school was way down the list at number 7 on the priority list for the Calgary Board of Education. Albertans are cynical, calling it blatant electioneering. Boards are elected to make these decisions. Does the Minister recognize that this was wrong? Will he apologize for this misuse of power and ensure us that he won't do this thing going forward?
Well, Mr. Speaker, my commitment is to ensure that we are responding to the priorities of Albertans. Now, Albertans said very clearly, we need new schools, we need new infrastructure, we need modulars for those schools that are experiencing student enrollment pressures. And as Minister, I'm committed to ensure that we are responding to the priorities of Albertans.